set it up, and they've carried through.
Two big guys going at it, boy.
This is a big guy battle. Wow.
An advantage for the Ranger. Remke and no helmet for Johnston, so those punches are going to hurt a little more when they land.
Let them go.
One guy's 6'7". How big's Johnston? 6'5"?
No, I think he's 6'7" also. Yeah, that's pretty good size.
I love it. I love it.
Somebody remind me again. What's the Rangers' record with Rempe in the lineup? Oh, that's right. It's like 20-something, 5 losses and whatever. You know what I mean?
It's pretty darn good.
And that fight, they knocked my tooth out, too. See that fight? Watching that fight, they knocked my tooth out.
Oh, my God.
Not a true story.
Well, I don't know what to say. Welcome.
It got knocked out by Doug Wickenheiser way back in the day.
Welcome to the craziness that we like to call the Instigators Hockey Show. I don't know, man. I'm exhausted, but we're doing.
You're always exhausted. It must be tough working at BMW.
I don't know, man. There's not enough for me to go around sometimes there, pal. But here we are once again.
That's right.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't even know where to start today. Do we start with all the games that are going on right now? There's
a lot of important games going on tonight with teams that are fighting for playoff spots. There's no question about that.
I know the Jackets are playing. Senators are playing. I want to talk about, unfortunately, I just saw this article, 5 minutes ago. Enstrom might be out for the season. What looked like a harmless play, he actually finished the shift. So I don't know. But we got a lot of games going on, and I will do everything I can to keep everybody up to date. Unfortunately, the Bruins right now, late in the second period, are up 2-0. Sabres are beating the Blue Jackets 2-1 right now. That's late in the second period as well. Senators and Lightning are tied late second period 2-2. Devils are beating the crap out of the Penguins already 2-0. Panthers Capitals are tied. Islanders are leading the Golden Knights. We need the Knights to win there. We got a lot of games. Jets and the Hurricanes. Whew, big hockey night. What are the Rangers the only team playing tomorrow? The big hockey night. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Kotz, I didn't even look. You brought it to my attention. 10 games for Hartman.
Yeah. 10-game suspension for placing a nice little elbow on the back of Stutzel's neck there and driving his face into the ground.
Yeah. I didn't see that. And you know what's funny? What's crazy is that did that ruling come out today, Kotz?
No, I think it came out yesterday.
It's not even on the NHL's official website. Usually
that is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I didn't see it. I'm looking right at it.
It's there. You're a day late, big boy.
Well, here it is.
There.
It's there. Hartman. Yep. 10 games.
Yeah, he's a repeat offender, and it always kills me about this repeat offender bullshit that the NHL likes to use all the time. Don't get me wrong. As a former player, when you look at the video, it doesn't look that, vicious. But there's a lot of viciousness in that. I know how that kind of play works, and he tried to make it look good, Paulie, with the way he placed his elbow. But at the end, he gave it a little extra at the end and slammed Stutzel's face into the ice. And The sauce started coming out of Stutzel's face there when he was by the bench, and they had to review it and everything else. And,
well, I'll tell you,
hard on him, you know.
Watching the replay, the referee's arm went up right away. So
Yeah.
I mean, they saw it. They saw it. I think 10 games is a lot, but it seems like they're handing out games like candy right now.
No, I listen. I agree. What if you the NHL put themselves in a tough spot with this repeat offender bullshit. It's like we're all of a sudden we're like real law on the streets. Repeat offender. We're gonna give him more. Repeat offender. We're gonna give 2 more games. Oh, that's right. You're your 3rd time. We'll give you 4 more games. Well, if I'm a repeat offender, but everything I've done is very minimal when it comes to like it didn't hurt anybody, but you're gonna suspend me anyway.
Yeah.
Do that 4 or 5 times in a row, then I'm all the way up to 12, right? Maybe 12 game suspension. What about the guy that does absolutely something so vicious that the guy's season ends on an injury? Is that not worth more than the minimum suspendable bullshit?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that's his first time, so we'll let him off the hook. You know?
Hey, listen, he killed a guy, but it was the first time he killed him.
Like it's all right. It's all right. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt the first time.
You get one on the dog, bro.
That's the only thing I don't like about the way the suspensions are handed out, and there's got to be a way that the seriousness of the actual penalty should be how serious you give.
Right. Agreed.
Crime-wise,
Agreed.
That's what not because you're a repeat offender about bullshit, but
agreed.
It is what it is. I just wanted to point that out to you because I know you hadn't seen it, and I figured I'd give you a shot there. But the league right now, Winnipeg's still looking like the beast, Paulie. My prediction's still looking pretty good about them being in the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah, a lot of injuries. All right, let's do that. A lot of injuries, though. I was reading a lot of teams are looking at some injuries. So in the East, obviously the Rangers are in the 6th spot here.
Rangers, listen, we'll get into that later, but they got some work ahead of them if they want to make the playoffs. They got a lot of work.
Yeah, Detroit's making a run here, huh?
Oh, yeah. Didn't I say that last show that I think they were going to be the other wild card team? But now they're inside the wild card.
Yeah. Well, last 10, they're 7-2-1. Them and Ottawa have been pretty hot.
Ottawa's the surprise. I didn't think Ottawa would maintain, but you know what?
Me neither.
They have
7-2-1 in their last 10. New Jersey took a dive. I think Markstrom's still hurt, right? They're at 4-4-2, so they're just a little above 500 there.
Yeah,
I know you don't want to talk about it, man, but I really still don't know where the fuck the Washington Capitals came from, man. They are they're pretty dominant right now. 75 points, Cots.
Well, yeah.
They're 2 points behind Winnipeg. I would have if somebody said to me going into the season, well, you think Washington's going to be destroying the East by almost 9 points, and I'd be like, no.
Oh, I don't think anybody would have expected that. But
they're 7-1 in their last 7-1-2 in their last 10, so they've stayed hot too.
There's been a big change there in Washington, though. Their goaltending situation is excellent now. They've added a bunch of players over the last 2 years that didn't work out last year, but are working out this year.
Yeah.
Guys they've added this year, and I hate to say it, being the number one Alex Ovechkin fan, as you know I am. Okay, but this is not Alex Ovechkin's team anymore.
No, I know.
Like it or not, it's not. This is not all about him anymore.
No.
It's about the other guys on the team, why they're doing what they're doing. Ovechkin's there as a token right now. Because he's late 30s, trying to break Gretzky's goal scoring record and all this shit. But that team's got not about Alex Ovechkin anymore. It's about a bunch of different other players, Paulie. And that Carberry, the guy they got from the Leafs head coach of them, he's done a great job. You know,
Yeah.
I'll give the organization credit when the credit's due. But I don't think the whole focus is on Alex Ovechkin anymore, because all his compatriots are all gone now. Think about it; they're not there anymore. All the guys that he played with they're not there anymore.
Yeah.
So Washington's a surprise, but I still think Winnipeg's the beast in the East. You know, and I still like Toronto's chances. You know, obviously Florida's tied with Toronto, I think, right now, or one game. Couple points ahead or something like that in the East.
Winnipeg's 8-2 in their last 10.
They got 77 points, Paulie. They're like 8 or 9 points ahead of everybody in the West.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know?
77 points.
Yeah. I mean, they got great goaltending. They got 2 guys in the top 10 in scoring, Scheifele and Connor. You know what I mean? Like, it's time. It's time for Winnipeg to shit or get off the pot. They've been close for 3-4 years, on the cusp of like breaking through, but they could never get past that first or second round of the playoffs. This is the year, though. I'm predicting it.
Yeah, you might be right. I mean, they got great goaltending too.
He's got 33 wins, Hellbuck.
Yeah. He's leading the league in a couple of, not leading, but he's in the top 5. Moving over there. Dallas, too. Dallas has gotten hot lately, too. They have a pretty big win streak going in their last 10 games. Let's see. They're 7-3 in their last 10 with 5 straight wins. So
they should be 6-4. The Rangers gave away that game. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Edmonton, it's been quiet over there, but they're 6-3-1 in their last 10 games.
Well, listen, Edmonton's they're another one that's I'm repeating myself. They've been kind of like Winnipeg. They finally got to a Stanley Cup last year, but they failed to win it.
Yeah.
So they're going to be tough too. We know that.
Yeah. Tell you, the Rangers played Vegas the other night, and I tell you, I mean, I'm glad the Rangers won, but I thought Aiden Hill was. I didn't think he was very good, man. I thought he let up a couple of soft goals myself. I don't know what Vancouver's going to do, but I think they have a little. They're not getting the goaltending that they need. Did I say
Vegas or Vancouver?
I said Vancouver on accident. I meant to say Vegas. Being that the Rangers just played them, I did not think Hill was very good. Fortunately for them that night, but they've not been good. They're 2-5-3 in their last 10. But
I don't think there's anything to worry about if you're a Vegas fan, to be honest with you.
LA 3-6-1, not good in their last 10. They're still holding third place in the Pacific Division over there, which is crazy because you look at Colorado. Unfortunately, they're on the wild card with 64 points, and then Calgary. Pat, I thought you had said that they were a little bit of a dark horse for you, the Flames.
No. I never said the Flames.
No?
When did I say that?
I don't know. I thought when we were talking
Let's go to the videotape, folks.
No, I'm just saying. I thought that you had said that.
No, I said early in the year they were playing well and stuff like that. They're still hanging in. I mean, they're not a bad team. They got a good deal in the trade that they made too. I mean, I looked at the standings today, and I know you're going through them. Teams that are in third right now in their division, they're not locked in at all. They're like 2 or 3 loss losing streak from dropping right out of the wild card. That's how close it is. You know what I mean? Where the teams that are fighting for a wild card are right there. Yeah. It's going to be a hell of a last 30-odd games, no question about it. And if you're a team on the outside looking in right now, and I know we're going to get to the Rangers, you better try to win 22 to 23 games. I don't know how many games you got left, 30, 31, 32, but you better win at least 22 games. If you're on the outside looking in right now, if you think you're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, well,
You have to. You have to win that many games minimum just to have a shot at it because there's just too many teams that are going to go back, up, down the standings. I mean, it was just a couple weeks ago where the Rangers fought back to within 2 points. Remember, 2 points of the playoff spot.
Yeah.
Well, now they're what, 5 points out again?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. 5 points. They're 5 points out. They have 54 points. They do have a few games in hand. Columbus is losing right now, 3-1. Listen. I mean, I don't know what to say about the New York Rangers. I had this conversation yesterday too, as far as you talking about games. The Rangers are lucky with what they have remaining in games. 90% of the teams they're playing are not in current playoff position or just barely in playoff position. So they're very lucky, and I will talk about that because I think that's going to be important to see how they come out of it. And I might as well bring it up right now.
Yeah, let's chat. Let's talk Ranger hockey then. Let's do it right now.
So the current schedule as it sits, the New York Rangers, their next game obviously is tomorrow night against Bruins. The Bruins are a team struggling to get in and out of the playoffs. Right now, they're like the Rangers on the outside looking in. Right? They're not even a wild card. Then you got the Penguins. Then you got the Blue Jackets that are just barely there. Then you got the Sabres. Then you got the Penguins again. Then you got the Islanders. So out of all the teams that I mentioned, right, they're all teams that the Rangers are real close to. They're not dominant playoff teams. And then the last game for February, they play a dominant playoff team in the Maple Leafs. Okay? So how many games did I just go through? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out of 7 games, you would think the Rangers should be favored at least 5 or 6 times out of those 7 games. And again, you play the Penguins twice, you play the Sabres, you play the Islanders. These teams aren't even, they're close, but they're not there. Now we move into March. March is a very heavy month for the Rangers in games. I'll count them in a minute here, but in March they go to the Predators. The Predators, another team that is not bidding. Then the Islanders again, not really bidding. Then they play the Capitals. There's a dominant team. Then they play the Senators, they're in the playoffs, but they're not Blue Jackets. Then they play the Jets and the Wild. Those are 2 teams that are dominant. So out of the teams that I just mentioned, 3 out of the last 6 maybe are playoff-bound teams. Then back to the Blue Jackets. Then the Oilers and the Flames. Both are, well, I'd say the Oilers are. Flames are just walking there. Then you got the Maple Leafs, dominant team. The Canucks, which are on the outside looking in. The Kings are in the playoffs, but just barely walking. Then the Ducks and the Sharks. They have a favorable, I think, in the next 2 months. They have a pretty favorable schedule with playing a lot of teams that are on the outside like them looking in. The disadvantage of that, though, is that they're on the outside looking in. So everybody's going to be playing playoff hockey.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about teams like the Blue Jackets and possibly, the Islanders went on a tear here. They're making their way. So maybe not playoff-bound teams right now, but these are teams that are scratching to get in. So, I don't know what to say, man. I'm mixed. On paper, you'd think, well, they should take care of a lot of the games that they're playing over the next 2 months. Well, who knows? The way they've been playing, I couldn't tell you.
No, the schedule looks favorable, but the bottom line is you still have to play the game.
Sure.
And then the teams you mentioned, like Pittsburgh and teams that they're close with and all that, Pittsburgh's not going to lay down like a dog for the Rangers, period.
Sure.
None of those teams that you mentioned are going to lay down like a dog. That are below the Rangers right now, and the teams that are just above, they got just as much to prove to themselves as the Rangers got to prove to themselves. So you still got to play the game. The bottom line is, Paulie, I'm going to say it again. I mentioned it earlier. Right now, the Rangers have 54 points. If they don't come up with 96 points, they're not making the playoffs. Sorry, you're not making the playoffs this year if you don't come up with 96 points. That's my prediction.
Yeah,
96 points, I think, gets you in the playoffs. I think.
Yeah.
Don't hold me to it, folks. I don't want you like mortgaging your house now and going on FanDuel or whatever one of those bullshit.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think
and I might as well get into it. And in order for that to happen for the New York Rangers, I'm going to be blunt as hell tonight. Your highest paid players, starting with Shesterkin, going to Panarin, going to Adam Fox, going to Zibanejad, going to Trocheck, Lafreniere. These guys need to play consistent hockey from here on in. It can't be great one game, okay the next, and disappear the next. They got to be consistently good for the next 30-something games. I believe they have 30 games left, the Rangers. That's what the number is. They have 30 games. These are the guys that get paid the most money. These are the guys you're supposed to count on. Don't be waiting for the guy on the fourth line. Don't be waiting for the guy on the third pair of defense. You get paid a lot of fucking money to perform, and this is the time to do it.
Yeah. I mean, you can't disagree with that. I mean, it is what it is, and there's a lot of players on this team. One of them you didn't mention, but I'll be happy to mention. I think in that group of guys is Chris Kreider.
I basically left that for you because I knew you were going to do it.
I mean, you're talking about a guy who's been consistent with 30 goals, 40 goals, 50 goals. They're counting on him to do his fucking fair share too. And I'll tell you what, he looks like he's playing on a leisurely, weekend charity game. I'm just sick and tired of watching this guy play. And I mean, he gets demoted, and I still don't see anything. The other night he broke his stick. It was like, why don't you fucking throw a check instead of breaking your stick, pal? But I swear to God, he looks like he's playing charity hockey. He doesn't want to take the body. He doesn't forecheck still. He's not driving the net. I watched the guy. He can't get the fucking puck out of his own zone. I want to talk about this because I tell you what, I still, and I know, I understand. Listen, the onus is on the players, but I don't know how many meetings we're going to need to have, but I can tell you as a professional, these fucking plays at the blue line and these plays 6 feet inside either side of the zone, I just don't get it. I mean, that game against Colorado, same thing. And it's consistent, and it's everybody. It's the Lafreniere. It's not just, listen, I know Panarin does a lot of high-risk stuff, but now it's all of them. It's everybody. They're 6 feet inside the fucking blue line, and they can't chip the puck out of their own zone. I can't tell you how many times I can count. Rangers turn it over in their own zone. Rangers turn it over. And I'm not talking back at the red line. Okay? I'm not talking behind the net. I'm talking inside the zone 6 feet. Why are we hard in, hard out? That should be the fucking message every game, all the time. It's fucking awful. The neutral zone is disgusting, and it's constant. It's not one here, one there, and it's all of them. It's all of them. They all do it. And stop with the fucking Koch. You got to help me this with the defensive guy, especially with Fox and Lindgren. I want to knock their teeth in sometimes. I'm so tired of the reverse. Play the fucking puck around the goddamn boards. Let's move the puck hard. I gotta stop it. I gotta eat it. I'm gonna bury it, and I'm gonna lose possession anyway. And I'm gonna lose in the move. I've seen it so many times. The puck's coming around. Stay with the momentum of the puck. Let's be smart. Let's be smart. Let's move the puck in and out of the zone. We'll get our chances. But we got to eat it because we're constantly worried about possession. And we're not in the right place to worry about possession. We need to worry about what we're doing smart to get the puck out of the zone. And I watch it. I watch it every game, and I want to throw up.
Listen, I'm going to be as nice as possible about this. I was talking with a couple of my former teammates, not just on the Rangers, but other teams, and we were talking about that. What you just talked about the trying to make that slick play 10 feet inside your blue line all the time, and it never gets out. And we all, we talked about it. We wondered a little bit, but we all came up with the same answer at the end. That if you did that back when I played, and you did that over and over and over again,
you're not playing again.
You'd be on a bus and fucking in the minors somewhere.
I know.
You'd be on a fucking bus somewhere.
I know.
And the only reason why they're allowed to get away with it today is the money, Paulie. They're allowed to get away with it. Yeah, they'll get yelled at. They'll get told. They'll get pointed out in the video room like they do today. Watch videos all day. But in the end, do you think they really give a shit? They're fucking their checks coming in for $182,000 a week. Some of these guys. So, in turn, the Ranger management, if you're upset and you're frustrated with players that consistently make the same play all the time inside your own blue line and not doing the right thing, and it's over and over and over again, you can't just send them down anymore, Paulie. You can't because of the money ramifications with the cap. They got to go through waivers. They got to go through this. They got to go through that. In the old days when we played, the money part had nothing to do with it. They didn't give a shit. Because what was the most somebody was making in my day? $300,000? Big deal, compared to today.
Yeah.
But we all came up with the same thing. You wouldn't last long. Your coaching staff would have benched you to start with, and then you probably would have been sent down to the minors. It's simple hockey.
Yeah.
Use your brain. Use your brain. Like it's like these guys have two different brains. They have enough brains to make the NHL, which I give them credit for, but they have another side of their brain where they think it's video hockey. Well, if I can make this slick pass through this guy's skate blade, over that guy's stick, over that guy's foot, wow, what a great play this will be. Yeah, but it's in the back of your fucking net.
Right.
No, I agree with you. I agree. And the two players that I talked with, we said it. If you're doing that over and over and over again, you'd be riding the buses. You can't do that today, Paulie. These guys are not afraid to get sent down. That's the difference.
The game is hard enough. It's a difficult game. And, what surprises me, well, and again, I get it, Cots. I get maybe they can't be sent down, but fuck, somebody's got to sit a shift or two and be like, what the fuck are you thinking? Like, what do you think? And then I'll tell you what, I'll fucking torture you in fucking practice. I will fucking torture you in practice. You will sit in that fucking video room and I will discuss this time after time after time again. And the next time I go out there and you fucking decide that 6 foot inside the fucking zone, you want to play cute, especially in the defensive zone. Especially in the defensive zone. What are you thinking? What do you think? Like, I just don't get it. And then the turnover, I constantly see the turnovers, and I'm like, this is hockey 101. I know this. You got to take advantage of the spots. I get it. But you got to play smart. And like you said, and most of the time, it winds up in the back of your net.
Look, one of the things that a player has, he either has or he doesn't have, is the ability to think fast. Okay.
Right.
Now, I always went by the motto that you have an A or a B decision when you have the puck. It's A or B. One's right, one's wrong.
Okay.
If you're consistently hitting the wrong one,
Yeah.
Shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're even doing like 5 for 5, 5 wrong, 5 right, that's way too many.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's the problem with a lot of these players. Under pressure and under the speed of the game, they know that they got to make a quick decision. And sometimes they make the wrong decision rather than the right one. And they do it more often than not. And I agree with you, Paul. Let's see. There's 2 guys who I'm going to try to pass the puck through from my right corner on defense, or I could just go right up the boards to center ice, and we can try again.
Right.
What do? I know how I played. It's up the boards. Fuck you, forwards. I'm not trying to hit you on that's scary play. I'm not gonna take that chance.
I mean, yeah, right. You take what's given to you, and you need to be decisive with your decision making. That's the other thing I wanted to talk about.
I used to get that all the time from some of the forwards in Toronto. Our breakout pattern was just wiring it around the boards, slapping it around the boards, which is true. The guys on the team would say that to us defensive. Well, you guys don't know how to break out. All you do is slap it around the boards. There's a reason why we slap it around the boards is you can't handle a fucking puck and know what to do with it.
I mean, I've watched players too be so undecisive. Like you said, I think that's great. That's a great part of the discussion is, it's a fast game and you got 2 choices.
It's a fast choice too. You got to hit A or B. Which one? Which one, brother? Make sure you hit the right one.
But I mean, at this level, you would think that most of this is ingrained, and you have that.
It's not anymore. It's not anymore.
It surprises the shit out of me. And here's the thing that what I don't understand is that when you see it in the game, and I saw it in the game, and we discussed it as a coaching staff, and we talked about it with the guys, but it continues to happen, and nothing gets done. I don't know, man. I mean, the message doesn't get through. The guys don't, like you said, I mean, whatever. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I mean, I've been watching hockey a long time. I've been around the game a long time, and I just, more and more, I watch these giveaways, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You had a simple play here. You had in your, like you said, choice A is to get the puck out of the zone. Best way you know how. Chip it up the boards, whatever you got to fucking do. Get it out of the zone.
Yeah.
We don't need to make a cross ice pass to our buddy so 3 guys in the middle can fucking intercept it. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? What are we doing? I don't know. I digress, so I'm going to move forward.
No, but I want to finish off with something there. Let me ask you a question. How many guys make $10 million a year in the NHL that are ultra defensive players? Fucking 0.
Yeah.
So that's how these players are being pushed from the time they're this big. They're being pushed to be offensive all the time. Offense. But you don't have any guys making $10 million or more playing. Okay, I'm a guy that's going to score 2 goals a year for you, and I'm going to get 2 assists for you, but I'm going to be a plus 20 on the year.
Yeah.
Those guys ain't making $10 million, Paulie.
No, I know. I get it.
So
I get it.
It's the way the game has evolved, and taking chances seems to be. You and I have talked about this for over 15 years now. The Europeans have great skill and great skating ability and great stick handling ability, but they brought a lot of bullshit to the game too.
Right.
That the North Americans are trying to do over the last 10 or 15 years, trying to be like that.
Yeah.
So
make it.
I mean, you don't like it. You guys don't like it. What I said, too fucking bad.
Yeah,
that's the way I look at it.
Well, I tell you, I don't know. I don't know. I will tell you this though: the good teams, when I watch them play, they don't make that many mistakes. They don't do that. I see a lot of teams play a very simple type of game. Everyone's good. Listen, the game of hockey is a game of accidents and incidents and interpretation. It's like football. You have an interception. That interception wasn't planned, but, the safety saw the play coming. He visualized where the ball was going, and he was there first. You have that same vision in hockey. Hey, I see this. I can – the pass is being identified. The shot's being identified. Whatever it is. It's a game of mistakes, and I get it. So the simple stuff, in my business, we say control the controllables, right? So there's things that come at you during the day in my life that are not controllable. They're in the spot. Didn't know it was coming. So the things that I do know that are coming at me for the day, the things that I know I have to handle for the day, those types of things, we make sure we take control. In the game of hockey or any sport, I believe the same. There's basics where you have control. Take control of the controllables. There's going to be accidents. There's going to be mistakes. There's going to be deflections. There's going to be chips. There's going to be great plays, whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, you're never going to be perfect, but control the controllables. And that's something, limit the mistakes, that I don't see what the Rangers are doing. I think when you're this fucking fragile of a team, I would think you'd be a lot tighter. And they do have the scoring prowess to win a 2-0 game or a 2-1 game. They just don't they have the best goalie in the world, so tighten up your game, and you're going to get your chances to win hockey games, I believe. I don't know. My whole purpose of this discussion, and I know you feel differently, I know what you're going to say next, and it doesn't even matter. I'm not a fan of the coaching this year. I think the coaching has been bad. I don't like the coaching. Now, like you said, whether or not the message gets through, whatever what the punishments can be, whatever we got going on, I don't know the insides of that. I just feel like the scheme for this team isn't working. That's how I feel.
Again, you have a right to your opinion. I don't. You're right. You know what I'm going to say. It's not the coaching. It's the players. I don't care what you tell me.
Sure.
I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how anybody dissects it. It's the players. Again, you're not talking about green rookies either on the team now. We're talking about guys that have been in the damn league a long time.
Sure.
I'll bring it up. Okay, how many times are you going to see Philip Hedl get line and try and make that extra stick handle and lose the puck? Vice versa. When he was down the ice, he always tried to beat the guy at the blue line and get poked off his stick. Now that he's gone, we don't have to worry about that anymore. Okay? Because he wasn't making a simple play. He was trying to make a spectacular play.
Mm-hmm.
Which I get it, because that's what they're groomed to do. But you mentioned something there 30 seconds ago. What part of being in your head as a player that you don't fucking understand? When things are not going good, you're not scoring, there's not a big volume of offense, that you should be able to adapt to a defensive style game and play the smart, basic defensive game. That's what makes me angry.
Right.
When I watch this. Okay? They played pretty good over the last month and change, okay? They had a couple of clunkers in between. But they played pretty damn good. Okay, they got themselves back into the race.
Agreed.
And I'm gonna stand by what I said earlier. It's time for the guys that get paid the most to do the most.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
It's on them now. It's not on the coaching staff. It's not on the scouting staff anymore. It's not on the pre-scouting of teams anymore. It's on you guys now. How you guys are going to perform. Shesterkin, you're getting paid like the best goalie in the league. You got to play like one from here on in.
Yeah.
Artemi Panarin, you're one of the highest paid players in the league, not just on the Rangers. Play like one. Zibanejad, you played better. He's played better. We got to say that the last couple of weeks, okay? He's got to pick it up. Big time. Okay? Lafreniere, you can't score 2 goals one game and then disappear for 9. then score 2 goals again, then your numbers look decent again. You know what I mean? When it comes to the rest of the team, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Vinny Trocheck's got to be better too. They got to play better. And yes, I'll throw in Chris Kreider because overall he's been a good Ranger in his career. Okay, he never went crazy about getting $10 million a year or anything like that. I'll give him credit for all that stuff. There were demand, like some players do. But he's got to put up or shut up too now. This could be the last ride for a lot of these guys.
Yeah, it is the last ride. I think.
You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Now that we've dissected that, let's finish off the rest of the night on. Let's talk about the trade, Paulie. The JT Miller trade. I'm going to let you go first.
Listen, I think we talked about this for a while. I think Chris Drury does a good job in this trade. I mean, you all know that I was a Hedel fan. I'm a Hedel fan.
Yes, you were.
Yeah, I thought his skill level is fantastic, but with the repeated concussions issues, we had said it might not be a bad idea, and I was the first one on board to say, hey, it might not be a bad idea to move this guy because you never know. He's one hit away from never playing again, and I think that's got to sit in the back of everybody's mind. Yeah, he's had a good 40 games or whatever he's played this year. If he's even played 40 games, maybe he's played 30. I thought he played pretty well. I thought he showed a little something for the first time since we, had him, because I've always said the guy's talent is there. I like the trade. You come in, you bring JT Miller in, who is, he's a hard-nosed player. He's a good center. He's a good face-off guy. He's got a nose for the net. He can shoot the puck. The only disadvantage here is, we talked about it. He's got a pretty strong contract. He's got some time on it, and he's got some money on it. The biggest thing is I was hoping that they wouldn't trade Mancini away. I was hoping that they could have got rid of someone else. Zach Jones is sitting on the fucking sidelines. I don't know. I'm with Chris Drury. I don't know what the terms were.
Well, who would you want if you were Vancouver, Zach Jones or Mancini?
Well, I get it.
Pretty simple.
Yeah. I think Zach Jones.
It's nothing against Zach Jones, but Mancini, 6'3", 220 pounds.
Yeah.
Future looks good for him.
Here's the thing. Mancini is what the Rangers need. We want to. I don't know if we want to divert off the fucking trade,
well,
but
you can divert off because
I'm sick and tired of saying it. I'm sorry,
but
Lindgren's the next guy they better fucking trade away. We talk about Fox, we talk about how bad he is, right? When he doesn't have the puck and when he's not playing offensive, and I think a lot of that we've also talked about the fact that I got to be honest with you. If you're evaluating talent, we're looking at this guy, you got to look. This is what we do in this world, especially in this world of sports. Pros and cons. What does he bring to the team? What does he do? What is his contributions? Okay, where does he suck? Where is he weak? What do we have to do to help him? We have not helped Adam Fox yet. You've yet to put a fucking guy on the blue line with him that can cover up his mistakes, that can play the fucking puck, that can win puck battles down low. We haven't done any of that. We just want to keep shooting Adam Fox. And I get it. The guy plays fucking 99 minutes a game. He's fucking exhausted half the time. He's on there, power play, penalty kill, this line, that line. He's atrocious defensively. I get it. I also think that he doesn't have the tools that he needs next to him, okay? That's how I feel. You need a big burly defenseman who's going to fucking stay at home and absorb some of his mistakes. They're not doing that. They haven't done it. So I get frustrated because I look around and I see Lindgren. And then we're trading away pieces like Mancini. And this is the guy that I think we need to bring into the fucking franchise and develop. Well, we're not doing that. So sometimes I got to tell you, I think the coaching fucking sucks because how we're not looking and seeing what's going on. It bothers me. Adam Fox does not have a good defense partner and hasn't.
Well, I'm not gonna agree with you 100% on that. You're gonna blame it all on his part. You're gonna blame it all on his partner.
I'm not blaming
his lack of defensive knowledge. Really?
I'm not blaming it all on his
Listen, there's a reason why you get blown around twice in one game when you see them coming, and you've been in the league 8 years already, or 6 years, or whatever he has, because you're not very in tune with how to play defense. So don't start there. Okay. Second of all, I'm going to give you the what for here now. There's a reason why Mancini was allowed to go. Okay. Think about this for a second. Fox is tied up, isn't he? Right-handed shot, right?
Yep.
All right. Schneider. They love Schneider. Right-handed shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just got Will Borgen for a bargain at $4.1 million. So there's no room for another right-handed shot on the right side.
Good deal.
There's no room. That's who they're going with. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. But that's who they've invested in. Okay? So that's why Mancini was allowed to go on this one. Okay? That's that. Okay? The other part that you're talking about, listen, Lindgren has played his ass off for this team, but he's getting too hurt all the time. He just doesn't have the physical size to play the physical game that he has. Okay? He just doesn't have it. And Adam Fox is not physical at all. You know that. You know that. Shies away from any physical contact whatsoever. Great vision, great puck handling ability, and great – he can see ahead of the play like most players can. There's no question about that. And I do agree with you. They should have found a left-handed shot, Jeff Bukaboom style, Chris Katsopoulos style, that stays back when Fox is doing his wandering. Okay? But it doesn't excuse Adam Fox for not understanding the minimum, the bare minimum of how to play defense when it's time to play defense.
Right. I don't disagree with you. I get it. I know he's atrocious defensively.
There's Paulie.
I think that's the good boy right there.
Yeah, that's boss man right there. I'm listening to you. I got to send them out right here.
So anyway, here's my feeling is bottom line is I think the next situation is they have to address the blue line. I'm sorry. You got Fox. You know he's a defensive liability. I think they need a defenseman who can complement and help cover up his defensive mistakes. Somebody who could actually win the puck and go into corners. Listen, I watched them. We've talked about it. Adam Fox is the last guy going in the corner. We all know it. Everybody knows it. The scouts know it. The teams know it. The video shows it. They dumped that puck in on Adam's side. Adam's not the first one to go get that puck. I understand. And I think that has to be addressed in the fact that we need help to compensate him there. That's not his game. He's not going to win puck battles. He's not going to go in the corner first. Like you said all the time.
But then why is he out there on the defensive side of the ice when it counts in a game? If that's the case, why is he out there? And then you say he plays 99 minutes a game. If you're fucking tired, tell him. Tell the coach, I need a break here. Don't go back out there. Don't go back out there with your lazy ass.
I don't disagree, man. I don't disagree. I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, it wouldn't break my heart if they moved him and they got something substantial for him. I'll be honest with you. I like Adam Fox, and I know what he brings on the offensive side of the puck. You know, every team needs a quarterback when it comes. He has great vision, like you said. He sees the puck. He sees the ice well. He makes very unusual plays because he can look players off. He's very dynamic when he has control of the puck.
Yes. Yes, I totally agree with that. Totally.
You have to live. Are you going to live and die on that?
I told you that a long time ago that you do live and die with these guys. But when things are not going well offensively, you should have enough brains left to understand the defensive side of the puck. That goes for the top two guys right now, Panarin and Adam Fox. Okay?
I don't disagree.
That's all I'm saying to you.
I don't disagree.
If things are not working on the power play, you're not doing it right on the power play. Okay, you can't score 5-on-5, then you should be able to at least be average on the other side of the puck.
Now, what's your thoughts on the trade?
I outside the one thing you got to worry about is you got two guys in their early 30s now that are centermen on this team. And I don't know what Trocheck got, how many years he has left. But I know Zibanejad's got 6 years left after this season. And I think JT Miller's got 5. And they're both 32-ish age-wise.
Yeah, 30.
Well, that's a long way to go. But I think it was a good trade overall because, JT Miller left the Rangers as an incomplete player. Okay? Went to Tampa. It was still like on the lower rung there because he had all the Stamkoses and Kucherovs and all that stuff. Went to Vancouver and he found his game there. He found out how to be a hockey player, an important one, and he scores goals. He plays physical. He takes the face-offs. He's got an edge to him. I like the edge to him. That automatically is an improvement over Hedl. That the physicality part, you don't have to worry about JT Miller worried about whether somebody's going to get physical with him because he'll give it right back to you. Okay. Yeah. And I think he's done well the first 2 games. I think it's going to give them a little bit of a boost. And hopefully it'll get Zibanejad's ass going a little bit better. I mean, again, Zibanejad's played better, but there's still more needed from him. And I'm hoping that this gives him a little bit of a jolt. And overall, I mean, you give up Mancini, but I told you what I thought about that. And I'm looking at it the way the Rangers organization is looking at it, not because I'm a fan of this guy or that guy. They think they're pretty solid down the right side of defense right now. And signing Borgen to that 5-year deal of $4.1 million is proof.
Yeah.
Whether he's worth $6 million on the free agent market or not, he took the 4.1. And I guess that's fair. You can't say anything else about it. And Borgen's not a bad player. He's not a bad player.
No, it's a good signing. I like it. I think we're talking about.
He's actually made K'Andre Miller look pretty good.
I was just going to say that. So now it's time to find somebody who can play with Fox. That's my heart in this. You got to find somebody who's going to help Fox look better, whatever it is.
It's hard, boy, that's a hard thing to do these days. I totally understand what you're saying, and I said this to you before, with Brian Leach and Jeff Bukabu. Problem is today is you can't do what they did back then either. When I played with Mark Howe went back and got the puck. If I got the puck more than 5 times a game, something was wrong. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, you guys were able to do some picking.
When Mark went back, I was that great shield that people had to try and get around so they couldn't get to him before he got to our net and come up the other side. Same thing. Right. I always played with a guy that was a little bit better skater than me, and I always told him, I said, if you get back there, just don't worry about anybody charging you against the boards. I'll be there. And I don't know if you'd be able to get away with that. That's what Fox needs. He needs that extra step and a half because he's not the fastest guy either. Okay?
Right.
So he needs that extra step and a half to get back there and get the puck cleanly. When Adam Fox has the puck cleanly on his stick, he's as good as anybody. There's no question. I'm not going to argue that. But I don't know if it'll work today, getting that big stay-at-home defenseman because you can't do what you have to do to help Adam Fox out.
So, Cots, before we end it here, because we only have about 6 minutes, I did want to, it's bothering me, and I want to talk about it. and I know it's early. I know JT just got here. I don't understand overloading that line with JT Miller, putting Zibanejad and Panarin on that line. Maybe it was just to get everyone going. I don't know. I hope it doesn't stay that way. I think you need to really spread it out. And I'll be honest with you, I think that and I know it sucks, but you move Zibanejad down to being, I don't know, does he become the third line center? I mean, does that take that line though, Kotz? I gotta think of it this way. Let's say you got Zibanejad on the third line now because you got Trocheck and you got Miller as centers, right? You got Zibanejad, put him with his buddy Kreider and I don't know, Kaliyov or VC or whatever. I think that line does pretty good offensively against other teams. I mean, they're going to be playing other teams' third lines. I would think that you would have favor there.
Yeah, it's hard to figure out what the lines should be, Paulie. I mean, I went through it with another teammate, not the other two I was talking about. We talked about it. He said the same thing. Why are you doing that? Why are they doing that? I look at a line like how about Panarin, Lafreniere, and JT Miller at center?
Okay.
And the only reason why I would do that as a coach, if I was coaching, is because at least I know I got one guy that's going to play with an edge.
Yeah.
Not because if Zibanejad's in the center part, not one of these three guys are going to be very physical in their forecheck. You know that. I mean, let's call it what it is. Call it what it is. Where you can start switching. It's too bad Edstrom got hurt.
Yeah. Well, you got Cooley, and I would think he would do.
You can drop Cooley down to the second line, or he's moved up to the second line with Zibanejad and Kreider, I guess, if you want.
Right, and then I would leave Trocheck with.
Or I could switch Trocheck for Zibanejad with Cooley and Kreider.
And I tell you what, I think Riley Smith. I know people probably don't feel this way, but I think Riley Smith has a lot more to give offensively. I think this guy has very good hands. I think he's a good passer. I think more importantly, I think he's got a fantastic shot, and I think he can score. And I think, I was thinking if you had JT Miller with Panarin, then if you decided where you wanted to put, like you said, Lafreniere there, I don't know. Maybe you throw Cooley up there on the wing. I mean, Cooley's been like a Swiss Army knife. You can put him anywhere. Is he a left-hand shot?
Yeah.
But he's been playing both the wings because he's bounced them around all over the place.
You gotta make sure that you have at least one guy that's willing to grind on each line. That's the point.
I get you.
And it's too bad again with Edstrom because Edstrom, Carrick, and Rempe were doing their job as a fourth liner. I mean, they're only going to get their 5 to 7 minutes a night, but they've been very good.
Yes, they have.
And I don't know much about Kaliev. Is he gonna pick it up a little bit? And you got Brzezinski, you got VC, and all these guys. You got some interchangeable parts, but I would like to maintain at least a physical presence somewhere in each of the lines.
I
don't want three Wayne Gretzky's on the ice together.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's not going to work because somebody has to do the rough stuff and do the mucking along the boards in order for that Gretzky to get the puck.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'd like to see. But hey, again. You walk in the dressing room, you see what the lines are as a player, and that's your job. Your job is not to complain or think about it. Just fucking do it. If that's where they want you to play, that's where they want you to play. Go out and do it.
Oh yeah, I mean I get it. I think, like I said, I think it benefits Zibanejad in a few ways, but I also think that if Zibanejad gets dropped down a bit, because of his talent and his ability and how he plays in so many different situations. For many years, Zibanejad's always had to play against the top line. You take that burden off of him. That line that started the year with Kreider and Riley Smith. If they fall to the third line there, maybe not Riley Smith. I think Riley should go play on the top line with Miller. But I just think it gives Zibanejad maybe a little bit more room because he's playing against third liners, 2.0s and third liners, where he's always played against the first liners. So I don't know. I think he could prosper that way. I just don't like overloading that one line. I mean, you have.
Well, I think Paulie, we'll find out in the next few days. I think we're jumping ahead of the gun here. I think they put that line together because of the fact that they needed goals that game. You know what I mean? So things were not happening. So they put that line. We'll see what happens tomorrow. What kind of lineup they come up with tomorrow? Who's going to play where? And one thing I'll say about Riley Smith, I totally agree. I got nothing bad to say about him. He's been put in a tough situation. He's a veteran guy. He's in his mid-30s. He's been around the league. He's been put in a situation where he's not going to be the number one guy on the number one line. He's not going to be the number one guy that goes out on the power play. So there's a pecking order, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Would he do as good as some of the guys on the power play if he was out there all the time? Probably. But there's a pecking order. You know the way it works in this league now.
Sure.
Certain guys get established as a certain thing on their team, and that's the way it goes. And that's why you see guys not prosper in one organization and move on to another and prosper, because there was a pecking order they couldn't get ahead of. So, yeah, I got nothing to complain about him. It's frustrating to watch how well they can play when they put it all together from a goaltender on out, and then come up with a clunker the next game. Like the Boston game was just like you could tell, like what's going on here?
Yeah, I agree. They were so out of sorts.
A team that you're chasing.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate part about it. It's a team that's very beatable that you beat this year. A team that you're chasing. Another team that has been struggling. They had problems confidence-wise. They weren't scoring goals. They scored 2 power play goals against us, but and they were awful on the power play. But yeah, I thought that game was so weird, and they were so out of sorts. The whole team was out.
And yet they almost had a shot to come back, but unfortunately, there was a game where Shesterkin did not play well.
He did not play well. The whole team was out of sorts. Him included.
Nobody was good that game. Period.
Well, I am excited to see, because of the acquisition of JT Miller, I am excited to see what they do moving forward. I don't think Drury's done, I got to be honest. I will quickly run through the scores. Wow. The Bruins are beating the Wild.
The Bruins are winning?
Yeah, there's 2 minutes left. Senators and Lightning are tied. Oh, wait a minute. What the hell just happened here? I thought they were tied. Lightning's winning 3-2.
The Lightning, if I'm correct right now, are not even in a wild card spot, are they? Or are they in the second wild card spot?
Yeah, I think they're in the second.
They're barely in by 1 point, I think. That's what it is.
I think it's the Lightning and the Senators that are bidding right now.
Yeah, I think they're only ahead by 1 point.
No, you're right. They're on the outside looking in. They have 58 points. Columbus and Detroit have 59. So you're right. They're not. They're on the outside looking in. They're not there. So they're winning 3-2 over the Senators. About 2.5 minutes left in that game. The Devils are tied with the Penguins at 2-2. Capitals, oh wow, they ripped this game open. They're beating the Panthers 5-3. Just 58 seconds left. Unfortunately, the Islanders are still leading the Golden Knights, but there's plenty of time in the third period. That's 1-0. The Oilers are beating the Blues 1-0. The Jets are beating the Hurricanes 2-0. Yeah, you're right. The Jets are dangerous. Maple Leafs and Flames just got on the way. Flyers in Utah 1-0 for the Flyers. The Flyers got shut out 3 games in a row.
Uncle Vinny.
Uncle Vinny. Looks like the Sabres beat the Blue Jackets 3-2 in regulation. So
That helped.
that does help. Everyone's chasing them. Excited for the game and the rest of the year this year to see what happens. I think JT has really helped ignite something here, so that's good. And then we'll go from there. We'll see what happens. I'm very upset about Enstrom. That sucks if he's out the rest of the year. I really like this kid, and I think he's going to grow.
I do too.
I like him a lot, man.
I foresee him being a top line player someday.
Yeah, me too. I definitely agree with you, especially with his size and his strength. And I hope he just gets a little bit meaner. I know we had a fight this year. I think it was was it Utah or was it Seattle? It was one of those when we were out west.
Yeah, he hammered some guy though. He beat him.
Yeah, he got into a fight this year. I wouldn't mind to see him drop the gloves every so often.
It's not going to happen. He's going to play physical. He's not afraid of anything.
Yeah, so that's good.
He's not going to drop the gloves.
Rempe's game has really picked up well, I think. And I like that.
In today's society and today's people that watch the modern day people that watch sports, they can't stand the rough stuff. They can't stand anything associated with that kind of stuff, period. And it's always, he should be banned. He should be this. He should be that. You know what? That's what I say to you. Right there.
Eat it and smile. Well, at the end of the day, man, like you said, there's 30-some-odd games left. Kotze feels like the Rangers got to pull out about 42 points. What did you say, 42 points?
Yeah, they got to win 22 games.
Yeah. So, they got to pull out well over 40 points here in the next,
30 games. You got 30 games left.
30 games, so that's 60 points. Kotze feels like they only got 20 to play with. So we'll see what happens. I don't disagree. I think you have to be real close to that 100 points if you're going to get in. So I'm not sure what we'll do. Hopefully we'll do something next week. If not, I don't know what to tell you. That's it. That's all I got. We're done. We're out. We'll see you in a week.
Thanks for tuning in.
Now tune out. Peace.